Large area. Cross... No, you're not immediately hostile. Okay. You don't know that there was a fight up there. Let's head straight across. We're gonna have to probably fight our way out. Can't really sit around reading terminals, but I can read this one in case there's an access to this door. Oh, nope. Sealed. Okay, I'm slightly... I need to find a way up. I probably need to head up this ladder. Okay, I've got 3 chances to... reset my thing before the disguise fails again. Okay. Oh. We can stay out of his images, his sights for now. No, okay.
What? What was that?
I'm walking right by you. Hello.
You here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Now, let's just get through this rigmarole. Persuade. Are you talking while on shift?
Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please.
On your way. Just don't do it again.
Thank you.
Okay, reset. Heading this way. Up. I'm gonna head to this level. Yes, I see it now. I got an X next to it. Which probably means... I want to check over here. It's a waste of bio juice. Disguise juice. I don't know what to call it exactly. And then head here. Alright, but there's nobody in here, so we're fine. Oh no, we've left the restricted area. Good. Good, 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 good. Let's sell some junk, in case I've got some. I don't think I have much. I have some. Sell all junk. There we go. I believe you guys have mentioned that fact, that it's Space's choice, but not the best choice. Every 15 seconds. Alright. Transition to the pit. Okay, we got through there without a fight. I doubt that would have been a good idea, but we're probably going to have to fight our way out. Right. Pit exit. Large circular area. Why did the Groundbreaker send troops in? I didn't think we'd made that much of an impression on Junlai. And I hope Junlai wasn't in there, because Pavati's girlfriend has just gotten herself turned into ash. In Hague S, reason, position of anti-UDL communications, duration 17, out Williams T. What? Random selection. What does out different name mean? Pod 2. Error, reason error, duration undefined, and out error. That might be Wells in Pod 2. Note from your favorite warden. Please do not leave perishables in here. We've marked this as cold storage because we're starting to move the pods in here. This is not an actual freezer. The next time I find a decomposing woolly cow box in here, I'm leaving it on the air conditioning intake for a week. Access storage manifest. In dimethyl sulfoxide canisters, out straitjackets, riot batons, out ballistics vests, in hibernation chamber, out indoctrination pamphlet, in forced pacification system refills, hibernation chamber, and material storage and shipping containers. I can't read these. It's like my brain's trying to figure out, like, okay, this is what's coming into this area, and this is what's leaving. Why would straitjackets be leaving? Whatever. Architectural records. Structural changes needed to accommodate hibernation chambers in the LBR-NTH facility. An analysis from engineers Rodfield, Crane, and Geist. Beginning with the requirement that every chamber receive a constant supply of, at minimum, 34 kilowatts, and that there and that the occupants of these chambers be injected with a steady supply of UDL's patented vito-hibernation fluid, and this run-on sentence carries on for 12 pages before finally concluding. And thus, in order to maintain structural integrity throughout the area designated the pit, we recommend that chambers are installed in cylindrical fashion around a supporting structure dug into the crust of Tartarus to a maximum depth of this conclusion extends for another 2 pages. What does that tell me? It tells me to head to the pit exit. Now, can I head this way? I ought to be able to. And I've got 3 dots again, so it's only in those areas that I have to be careful of this. So I could just literally... I went the right way. I could check the other side, but I'm not going to. Pit exit. Let's not explore. It's a prison break.
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
Really? Okay, so everyone's just attacking them. Iconoclasts. Do I let them get slaughtered for me, or do I attack? I genuinely don't know what I'm supposed to do about this. Light him up. Oh, Nyoka. Let's get the rifle out. August Van Noy. I remember you. I saved your life. Everyone alright? Okay, that fighting's gone on over there. Let's try and provide support. Missed. Down. Okay. The Iconoclast did a lot better, unsurprisingly, than the Groundbreaker's Mardets. I presume MSI will be sending in troops as well, so... Given the previous attack, I think we can hardly pretend that these guys don't know we're hostile. It seems when you kill them, you get a reset to your ID cartridge. Oof. Thank you. So I'm going to allow myself to kill these guys. Because it would make sense if they didn't hear that massive gunfight. Heading this way. Again, it seems weird that you guys don't know that I'm part of that fight. But I suppose they think I'm theirs, but they're not like reacting and heading out to the fight. They're quite close by. Let's avoid the fight in this room. And we'll head onwards. No, okay. We gotta deal with this. I'm sorry, but, there's just no way we're getting out of here with all these people alive. Back up. Take the high ground and we'll fire down. Down here. Do-do-do. Punk! We don't get much cover up here. Nope. Missed. Oh. Reload. Come on. There we go. Just get straight down. That was pretty poor. Maybe a high ground wasn't such a good idea with no cover. But down here wasn't much better. If that's the cell, I've got to clear out this area before I move onwards, let's be honest. I'm not getting Phineas out here with living guards standing outside. And the... Who organized this attack? I don't remember asking the Groundbreaker or the Iconoclast to help with an attack. Unseal that door. And then leave. Oh. You didn't hear that, did you?
Well, look who it is.
You know me?
I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. And I see you've brought the kid along. Babysitters may be expensive, but they're worth it, you know.
Yeah, keep talking, pal. I'll just keep thinking of a place to bury your body.
Ah, I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is unmistakable.
Keep talking, and you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
You are Chairman Rockwell, I presume. You know what he looks like. You are less worried than you ought to be, considering that what we had to do to get here. Get out of my way, Rockwell.
I'm not in your way, you dullard.
No, you talk to me.
You want to go die in a blaze of glory? Be my guest. Besides, I don't know what you think you're doing here, but Sophia's doing good work up there with Phineas. Your efforts will be in vain.
Please, Phineas would rather die than cooperate. I think she's torturing him, right?
Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle.
Am I gonna kill you? The crackpot is saving the frozen colonists you gave up on.
Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems.
I've got another plan for that.
Big plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through. But it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
Are you kidding me?
Says you.
We're out here trying to clean up your mess.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way.
I thought Rockwell was actually more passive than this, and that Sophia Akande was actually in, like, charge. But it seems he's actually... He's definitely in charge. I guess I took Akande's assertiveness further than it actually warranted. It seemed like a power behind the throne thing at the time. You'd prefer to keep riding this downward spiral? I can fix this place.
If I and my people can ride it out in luxury and happiness, yes, I would.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, Captain, but Halcyon's pretty much a lost cause.
I've got people who say otherwise. I must have done, to some extent, because I don't remember organizing an attack on the town. It would have been nice if I had done, if I had asked the Groundbreaker. Though I think I'd have spared the Groundbreaker and just had the Iconoclast and MSI attack. Where the fuck did the Iconoclast get here from, by the way? Maybe the Groundbreaker gave him a lift? With your resources and some of the folks on the Hope, we could do a lot.
I'll admit, there's no shortage of talent in the scientists and engineers there. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need...
I thought Sanjar was going to do that.
On your plan.
Are you out of your mind? Rockwell's the biggest monster in Halcyon. You got any idea how many lives he's destroyed? How many people he's hurt? I've had enough. You even think about cooperating with this animal? And you and I are finished.
Inspiration 100, determination 100. I don't know what these are, but I don't have them. Can we do this? Well, what happens if I don't have Rockwell on side? Because he's already in charge. Changing leaders now might cause more problems than it's worth. But Rockwell can't really be trusted anyway. I don't think it's worth keeping it. Yeah, no, your loyalty's worth more than Rockwell's anything.
You're damn right it is.
If you're gonna place more faith on this brat than the chairman of the fucking colony, then there's no hope for you. Go get yourself killed.
Okay, but you're not attacking me. Nor are you going to stick your mechanical guardians on me. I'm not going to execute him. Damn it, I didn't have determination and inspiration. I should have been higher on those, I'd have thought. There, these two. Didn't even consider it. Oh well. I could shoot him in the head now, but, you know, that's not how I operate. And I don't feel good, even for whatever is wrong with him, I don't feel good about just executing people. I should have said I was rallying everyone against him. Alright, to the pit exit.
Alright, MSI.
Alright, here we go.
I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs...
When did this get organized?
Get in there and...
We're not getting through.
Yeah, I know. Shoot. Oh, that's an MSI. I am so sorry. Again. And I died. Okay, there we go. I was panicking and trying to hit, and it's T, which is different from any game. Continue from where I was. I don't know when I'm going to come out. Okay, back from Rockwell. I can't restart that dialogue, I guess. Oh well. MSI's going to come. Someone explain to me why they're attacking now when I didn't say anything. That should have been set up a little better. Just in terms of narrative. I'm rather bemused by the fact that they're here. You first. Wait till... There we go.
I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there and fight!
And I'm missing. There we go. Quite slow on the uptake. There you go. There's your thing. You got to do that drop kick you were practicing. I've been meaning to use your effects. Oh, if that guy got... That might be... I can't tell the corporates and the MSI apart. That might be a relevant fact. But at least we saved most of the MSI, guys. Well, some of them, in any case. They look the same. If only I'd intended to have this kind of an attack. Alright. Okay, MSI's locked this place down. Nicely done, guys. Compared to the Groundbreaker Mardits...
This is nice. Calm before the storm.
I don't know if I'd say that, Nyoka, frankly.
All right, boss. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Hardly calm before the storm. Have they emptied out the hopes?
You have an uncanny talent for complicating my life.
That is a fact.
You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was prepared. I lost good soldiers in the attempt. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things.
Oh no, not the natural order of things.
Uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
Oh dear. Well, I'm very sorry about that. It's over. Stand down.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
That a fact.
You have a flair for subtlety. If you'd worked for me, you would have been the greatest fixer Halcyon has ever seen. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy.
I'm here for Phineas. Let him go.
You make a compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No.
then I'm gonna have to take him.
Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest
You and what army?
and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony.
Because I've gone through quite a lot of soldiers right now, so what have you got left? Don't test me, Sophia, it's bad for your health.
I'm aware of your propensity for violence. Halcyon is a bloodier place because of you.
That's not quite true.
You were one of my finest agents once.
Really?
I don't want to destroy you.
I don't think that's ever been the case. You and I haven't worked together
And I may
much.
yet show
And even when we did, I was backstabbing you. I'm rescuing Phineas and I'm gonna go through you if I have to.
I had a feeling you'd say that. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight.
Ooh, a boss
with
fight.
your remains down a drain. And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically, or something.
Okay. Looking forward to this. Let's get rid of this shrink ray. I haven't used it. Let's go back to the revolver Mark II. No, actually. Do I have an HMG on me? No. Let's try the tactical. No. No, let's just leave it. Alright, Ram. I got you. I remember you. This will be fun. Anyone got no. No, I don't think I have any, like, acid weapons. Focus your fire. Start with you. This is gonna take a while. Oh, it's sealed. N-rays don't work on him. Good, thank you for telling me. I'm going to switch to my assault rifle ultra then. Bloody hell. Okay, this is going to be a little tougher than I'd rather hoped for. Damn it, I'm kind of stuck. Wish I could throw a grenade. Okay, I'm gonna have to stay in here. Both my companions are down. I'd like to get rid of these combat drones. Damn it, these are chunky. Huh. Okay. That's a lot of... That's very bullet spongy. Maybe if I don't open up on it. Okay. First things first, the N-rays apparently don't affect it much, so let's go straight to the assault rifle. Second, let's look at this door first. Oh, wow. Okay. Let me get... Okay, lockpick plus 10. This will allow me access to this. Hacking skill tool, though. Oh my god. What would that give me? What am I at? 70. Don't I have something that increases... There, stealth skills increases hacking a bit. To 80. Damn it, I should have had one of the hacking companions on me. I've got neither. It's Nyoka and Felix, neither of which are good at hacking. Okay. Change back to the armor. Oh, hang on.
Hell of a job.
You know what? A shock cannon would probably be way better on that guy than my previous weapon, actually. That would be really good. That one. Give me that shock cannon ultra. I wish I could upgrade it now. I wish I already had one. Yeah. Let's put that in 1. And I guess we're gonna have to fight it. I'm sure this would shut it down. But I can't hack into that. I need a companion who can hack. I didn't think to bring one. For a jailbreak, that was probably remiss. Alright, let's do it.
Heads up!
I'm gonna get behind it. That's its weak point, right? Okay, back off. Come on. He's got a shield, that's probably not helping much. Oh, here come the... Okay, these guys. And Nyoka's down. Ah, too far away. Come on. Get a move on. And again, I should probably have some... Come on. Heal up again. And is Ram down? Oh, damn it, it's slightly unreactive. Actually, I should use this. And at distance, it doesn't work very well. Of course, I didn't time it right. Okay, I think I got this. I think I got this time. Oh, except if I get surrounded by these bastards. Oh, wow. Okay. One. That's not... Damn it. Come on, give me my rifle. Okay. I think I can do this. I think I can do this. It's just a bit tedious. Careful. Not that one. Let's reload now rather than later. And... just unload into it. That's not doing much. Ow, 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 ow. Give me another shot of this. And 2. No, 3. Wrong slot, and you're on your back. Uh-oh. I don't want to restart again. Find a corner, find a corner. I should try and lure it near one of these. Oh, how am I out of ammo? I'm gonna die again. Ah, this is so annoying. Oh, it started me back here this time. Well, I haven't come up with a better plan other than shoot at it till it dies, so let's do that again.
Heads up!
Well, it's not staring at you. I don't have much else. Double hit that. Oh my god. Do a thing. Again, just keep doing that. Did I get it? God, it's always the, like... first go, I get slaughtered. Second go, I get slaughtered. Third go, it goes off with almost no hitch. It's a slightly different approach. That was difficult. It's not really how I've been playing this game so far, so... My bad performance there is... Oh god, those bloody side drones were a pain in the ass. It would have either shut down RAM, that station, if I'd thought to bring a hacking companion. It would either have shut down RAM, or it would have shut down these combat bots. Those were the most annoying part. But that, this shock cannon was probably a good idea. I should have had something like it, thinking... I didn't think I'd be going up against too many robots. But, you know. Okay, this is a very nice place for a torture chamber. As torture chambers go, I mean. Not, like... For a torture chamber, this is quite nice. I mean, like, as torture... Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay. You want to kick her in the face? Or did you? Holy shit. Felix, I think you did it. Wow, that was, not impressive, Sophia. Yeah, okay. Come on, Phineas. I didn't search around much.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved. And long overdue.
I agree, if considering how she asked me to kill Edgewater.
You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind. And I can't begin to thank you enough.
Are you alright? What did they do to you? Me, the Groundbreaker, MSI, and the Iconoclast all joined forces apparently, and I wasn't aware of it. They just sort of showed up, by the way. That wasn't strictly speaking my fault.
I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived.
You would have flipped?
You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life.
Well,
but there's still so much we have.
We'll see about that.
You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
I'm not really in the mood for your... No. I'm not really in the mood for your theatrics, Phineas.
Theatrics? Merciful law, I wish I were exaggerating. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago? And the board's just been covering this up?
This and practically everything else.
Incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people in the colony who know are standing in this room.
Alive.
So we've got to make do on our own.
And probably the chairman.
Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore.
I sent a message there, but I guess it...
entirely on our own.
I guess it isn't, I guess Earth isn't interested. Or, I don't know, why would message have been cut to Earth? What's the deal? Is it just... Has Earth decided this place isn't profitable enough and they just cut us loose? I need to ask you something.
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
What do you think happened?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong.
Okay.
I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore.
That's an incredible thing to say.
We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
I hope Earth's alright. I'm fond of that little blue... shithole. How do you know all this?
I heard it from Akande herself. She tried to pressure me into joining her side, you see. Tried to make me realize that all hope is lost, and that we are alone. She was half right. We are alone, and we're going to have to fend for ourselves, because there's no telling what's happened to Earth.
You mentioned a frigate disappearing.
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace.
They just leave signal range, or...
That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
So, do we have information on other colonies? That's a substantial, like, what do you mean what happened to Earth? I thought we just lost communications with them. So, what? Has Earth been destroyed? Is there an alien invasion happening? Probably not. Someone probably fucked up something and blew the planet up. You said there haven't been any new messages from Earth.
Yes, Akande mentioned as much. Earth hasn't sent us a single message in 3 years. No one knows why. Akande had kept the truth to herself, perhaps with good reason. Can you imagine what would have happened if word got out? We'd have utter pandemonium.
There's something else. I know about the other colonists, Phineas. The other colonists?
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists.
How many?
Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
Oh, better late than never, I guess.
I'm not asking you to forgive me. Law knows I won't forgive myself. But I'm going to try to set things right.
Okay, I buy it.
My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about.
So what is next? What happens now?
If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
I think that's it.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds. And then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader. And I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Is that your decision to make? you're just electing me king all of a sudden? Maybe we could try, like, a council or something like that? I think we need more than a single person in charge. Okay. Alright, if you're gonna elect me chairman, yourself, unilaterally, I don't know if I'm the best choice, really, but you can count on me, I'll help you revive the other colonists. But it seems okay. Well, we'll work on the constitutional framework after we start fixing things. So I guess I'm in charge, but I'm gonna want a cabinet pretty rapidly.
When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I was wrong. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support.
I'm gonna need more than just your support,
Not
Phineas.
a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free.
That's not always a good thing.
Our future is uncertain.
Support from Earth would
No
be
one knows
nice.
what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
We're a separated colony. Oh, I think that's the end of the game.
Everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale,
Let's
his
find out
actions altered the course of
what
history.
the consequences of my
The
actions have
events
been.
of Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board
That sounds
was
like
too distracted by
these two
infighting and internal
did
politics
pretty well.
to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking
Oh
bay
dear.
silenced
Aw.
her forever.
She was a bit nuts, though.
Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together.
And who's a
The
replacement?
collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her
You
community.
asshole, Adelaide.
The rest were turned away, and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter
Oh!
took a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists.
Oh.
It is
Okay.
unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter.
Okay.
Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to
But did the
educate a
colony fall
promising
in the end?
generation of engineers
Trying to...
schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising.
Present tense.
The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less.
Some.
Even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe.
We all went our separate ways, I take it.
Even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The Grand
Hang on, the Grand Revolution definitely happened.
There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix
What did
never
he
had
think a
hand
revolution
with
was going to
numbers,
look like?
But if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. After all he'd seen and heard adventuring with you, the vicar Maximilian de Soto renounced his faith.
Okay.
And joined the effort to
We never
rebuild
finished
the
his
colony.
thing, but you know.
Ironically, he finally found the joy that had eluded him over the course of his life, and realized that perhaps he was always meant to be just a simple laborer after all. He quickly dismissed the idea.
Of course he did.
Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker. And Parvati, enthusiastically if somewhat awkwardly, agreed.
And they stammered at each other for the rest of their
Stories her
lives.
adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name. And in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart.
Good on
Nyoka
him.
returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories.
So nothing
find
changed
her
for
camping on
Nyoka
the
at
trail,
all.
or
Pretty
clearing
much.
an infestation.
Not at the fundamental
The
level.
unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony.
And he didn't change at all.
This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from
Okay.
Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells,
What
he
about
spent his
Chartrand?
remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past, and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope.
So I suppose it was
Over
worth the
next
death.
decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed
Oh, well.
away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future.
Ha.
And what about you? The unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon. Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Smash cut to the credits. Well. Yeah. So, it did survive. Now, I thought it would hold out. I know there's a sequel in the works. I thought it would be a little bit. I kind of would have preferred not to be quite so distant in the future from that, to leave things maybe a year afterwards and leave it vague on whether or not the colony would survive, and that would be a great jumping off point for Outer Worlds 2. You have to end it with the same mistake, don't you, that you started it with? Outer Worlds, Outer Wilds. No. I think... But it means Marcus Ashikaga the story is probably over, barring if I don't go back to the DLC, which I may do in the future. I may come back to this. But I'm actually not sure where the sequel is going to start off from. I suppose a new character, new colony. What's happened to Earth? That sounds like an important thing we should find out the answer to. But, I mean, Earth's an important place. I mean, it ought to be in any case. Yeah. If the ending was a little bit on the... I wouldn't call it a weak ending at all, but I would say it kind of didn't... I think maybe a little more effort could have gone into the ending, probably. Just specifically, it was curious as to why all those other parties were involved in the attack on Tartarus. That could have been drawn out a bit longer, maybe, and had a more involved feel to it. But apart from that, the game at large is really good overall. It's a little heavy-handed on its message, but it's otherwise it's fun. It's just a fun game. It does, you know, and it's accessible. It's a little easy. But you know, I was warned that it might be. You know, I played that on hard. Apparently only 5.1% of players have finished the game on hard, whereas 26% have completed it on any difficulty, and I didn't really feel like that was difficult. That last boss fight was perhaps more challenging than it might have been, but it wasn't really difficult. It was the way combat works is really like every fight seems to go like really hard, then once you sort of do something slightly differently, it's extremely easy. It's amazing. The writing's quite good, actually, I think. The story's competently put together. It feels like well realized, the world. It's not completely silly, but it's also doesn't take itself too seriously that it's not totally po-faced about everything, which I think helps to its advantage in not seeming like a complete, you know, grimace fest of here's all the horrible things in the world. It's... I suppose there's always a few things I would have done differently, but this is a solid 8 out of 10 game, which is good, you know. It's by no means perfect. I can say that every time I finish a game, it's by no means perfect. You know, I should stop saying things like that, but it isn't. You know, I think the combat system, my biggest gameplay gripe is probably the consumables. That is way too obscure. Well, not obscure, obtuse. It's I think they needed to rethink the consumables the system rather than having it go with the because integrating it with the med kit is just a bit on the... I don't want to be activating side effects when I just need to med up. And I can't think far enough ahead to med up ahead of time because, you know, that just goes against everything I understand when I come into contact, when I go into combat. But everything else, I mean, it was solid. The shooting was solid, the weapon modification, the weapon variety was decent. Some of the science weapons were a bit wimpy, but the blob gun, the gloop gun, is, you know, that's a top-tier weapon. But yeah, I think you could play this a lot of ways. And while I never do melee, I almost never do melee weapons in a shooter, I'm quite happy in the way. I think I played this in the way I wanted to play it. And I think with an RPG, that's a good sign. I didn't feel restricted too much. There's quibbles here and there with like dialogue choices that you should have had, or certain choices you make that you could have done differently. And that is what it is. But overall, I think this is actually way better than I was expecting. I was expecting to be a little bit annoyed by this game. Up to a point. I was expecting it to, I was expecting it to be worse written. And I think the first section I wasn't, like, massively enthused, but once you sort of get into the headspace that this game's playing at, I think it worked pretty well. I think, actually, the writing's better than its... better than I understood it to be, going into this. I thought it was just going to be, like, some, you know, yelling on about corporations and how evil they are, and with very little nuance, and I think... and, like, silly characters that are, you know, overdone, or flanderized, or whatever the term would be for that. Simplistic characters with simplistic ideals, but actually it is relatively nuanced. It's got a lot of thought put into it. The world building's quite good. It ultimately succeeds. And Justin E. Bell, the composer for the music in this game, did a spectacular job. The music is fantastic. The design is very good. It looked, you know, there was some great scenery around. I didn't have any difficulty finding screenshots, which some of the games I do. Yeah. I think this works. I think this is a really solid game. I'm certainly glad I played it. As regards to the DLC, I'll wait for a sale and probably a reason. Maybe when the trailer for Outer Worlds 2 comes out, I might jump into the DLCs. Or something like that. I'll wait for a reason to get into them. You know. Or if I've got nothing better to do, I'll do it. I will probably get round to the DLCs. So this isn't the end for Outer Worlds, but I'm interested in Outer Worlds 2. I'm interested in the DLC, but just not yet. I'm not in a position really to grab that at the moment. And there it is. I like how it shifts from the credits directly into the main menu. Sorry, that's cool. Anyway, as I said, yep, I will probably eventually get to the DLC, but I've got a few plans over the next, for what's coming next, which should be next week, and what's happening next week from the point of this recording, well, we'll get to those when we get to them. I'll discuss that when I'm certain, because I'm the way I've sort of been doing this whole Let's Play thing has been about with as few plans to go forward as humanly possible. That way things don't get sort of messed up, because I've had a few false starts. So let's not make promises until I'm sure. What was I was thinking something. I'm not entirely certain how happy I am that the crew got broken up. I would have liked us to stay together for, you know, forever, because we're all friends. But we all went our separate ways, and there's kind of something sad about that. I kind of like the crew, barring Max and Sam, who you know. Max kind of bothered me a little bit, and Sam didn't interest me. Barring that, everyone was great. I very much liked Felix. And Parvati, particularly. Ellie was kind of fun. It was amusing. And, Nyoka was... when she had something to say, I liked the fact that she was around. She was steadfast, if not very heavily opinionated. But everyone survived at least. I mean, they all got knocked down. Yeah. Permanent companion death. That would not have gone well for me. I don't know how you'd manage it, frankly. Some of the enemies go through you and your companions faster than you can react, or at least faster than I can react. So you'd have to do some forward planning and thinking, none of which is my strong suit. But that was The Outer Worlds. Really good. It's a really good game. Looking forward to the sequel. I wonder where it's going. I literally don't know anything about it. I'm gonna look it up after this. Now that I finished it, I can at least see if I can get a bead on what its plans are, though I don't think there's any information been made available, certainly not about the story. It could, and it's years away. It's certainly not coming out in a few months, so, you know. We'll leave that for a long time in the future. But when it comes out, certainly my intention is to play it. But next will be something... My plan is to do something rather different. And what that means... Though I'm not sure. I really don't know. My next... what I plan to do for my next series... I really don't honestly know how it's going to work out. But we'll get to that when I start it. As I said, it might not work out, and I may have to find something different to do. But, for the time being, it's an interesting change of pace. So, let that little tease be enough, and we'll move onwards later. Really hope I was recording. Yes, I was.